Let's confront a dangerous myth, the illusion of perfection. Somewhere along the way, society sold us the lie that high-value individuals are flawless, always composed, and never burdened by doubt or failure. But here's the truth: no one is perfect. Not the people you admire, not the leaders you look up to, and certainly not you. And that's okay. Perfection isn't the goal, growth is. The sooner you release the pressure to be flawless, the sooner you can step into your true power and embrace the beauty of being human. Think about it. What makes someone truly magnetic isn't their ability to avoid mistakes. It's their willingness to rise after they fall. It's the courage to keep going, even when the path is messy and uncertain. High-value individuals aren't defined by their lack of struggles, but by their resilience in the face of them. They understand that imperfection is part of the journey, not a detour from it. And they use their missteps as stepping stones, turning moments of failure into fuel for future success. This mindset doesn't just inspire others, it empowers them to do the same. But let's be honest, letting go of the need for perfection isn't easy. Society conditions us to equate worth with achievement, to measure ourselves against unrealistic standards set by social media, cultural expectations, or our own inner critic. These pressures whisper lies, convincing us that we're not enough unless we check every box. The result? A constant sense of inadequacy, a fear of being found out, and an exhausting pursuit of something that doesn't exist. The irony is that the more you chase perfection, the further you move from authenticity. And authenticity is where real value lies. So how do you break free from this trap? Start by redefining success. Instead of striving for flawlessness, aim for progress. Celebrate the small wins, the incremental improvements, and the lessons learned along the way. When you shift your focus from outcomes to effort, you create space to appreciate the process. You begin to see challenges not as threats to your worth, but as opportunities to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. This perspective transforms the way you approach life, replacing fear with curiosity and judgment with compassion. And here's the beautiful part: embracing imperfection doesn't make you weaker, it makes you relatable. People connect with vulnerability far more than they do with polished perfection. When you allow yourself to be seen, flaws and all, you invite others to do the same. You create a safe space for honesty, trust, and genuine connection. This isn't about airing every insecurity or weakness. It's about owning your humanity and recognizing that your scars are proof of battles fought and won. They tell a story of survival, courage, and triumph, a story that inspires others to write their own. Now, let's talk about the role of self-compassion in this process. When you stumble, and you will, it's tempting to berate yourself, to dwell on what went wrong and replay it endlessly in your mind. But beating yourself up only deepens the wound. Instead, practice kindness. Treat yourself as you would a dear friend who's made a mistake. Offer words of encouragement, remind yourself of past successes, and acknowledge that growth takes time. Self-compassion doesn't excuse poor choices or laziness. It creates a foundation of support that allows you to bounce back faster and stronger. Another powerful way to reject the myth of perfection is by reframing failure. Failure isn't the opposite of success, it's a vital part of it. Every great achievement is built on a foundation of trial and error, risk and reward. Think about the inventors, artists, and innovators who changed the world. They didn't succeed because they avoided failure. They succeeded because they embraced it, learned from it, and kept moving forward. You can do the same. Each setback is a chance to recalibrate, to refine your approach, and to come back stronger than before. Failure isn't final, it's feedback. And while it's important to learn from mistakes, don't let them define you. Too often, people carry the weight of past failures long after they've served their purpose. They replay old narratives, clinging to guilt or shame instead of releasing them. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting, it means forgiving. Forgive yourself for not knowing then what you know now. Forgive yourself for being human. Then take what you've learned and use it to propel yourself forward. Your past doesn't dictate your future unless you let it. Here's the truth that changes everything. You don't have to have it all figured out to be high value. In fact, trying to figure it all out is part of the problem. Life is messy, unpredictable, and full of surprises, both good and bad. The key is to stop resisting the chaos and start embracing it. Trust that even in the messiness, there's beauty. Trust that even in the uncertainty, there's growth. Trust that even in your imperfections, there's immense value. Because at the end of the day, what makes you valuable isn't your ability to avoid pain or failure. It's your ability to rise above them. So, as you continue this journey, give yourself permission to be imperfect. Allow room for mistakes, for learning, for evolution. Lean into the discomfort of not having all the answers, knowing that growth happens outside your comfort zone. And remember this, the world doesn't need another version of perfection. It needs you. Your unique voice, your authentic presence, your unapologetic self. That's what sets you apart. That's what makes you unstoppable. Stay grounded in this truth and watch as your confidence soars, your energy expands, and your impact deepens. You are enough exactly as you are, and that's more than enough to change the world. Let's talk about the first step toward reclaiming your power, acceptance. Acceptance isn't passive. It's a radical act of courage. It means facing your pain head on without resistance or denial and choosing to meet it with grace instead of fear. When you accept what is, you stop fighting against reality and start working with it. This doesn't mean you're okay with being hurt. It means you're ready to heal. And healing begins when you acknowledge the truth of your experience, however uncomfortable it may be. Pain has a way of demanding attention. It whispers, shouts, and sometimes screams until you can no longer ignore it. But here's the paradox. The more you resist pain, the longer it lingers. Resistance amplifies suffering, turning temporary discomfort into prolonged agony. Acceptance, on the other hand, softens its grip. It doesn't erase the pain, but it gives you the clarity to process it and the strength to move through it. Think of it like quicksand. The more you struggle, the deeper you sink. But when you stop resisting and lie flat, you float to the surface. Acceptance works in much the same way. It allows you to rise above the weight of your struggles. Now, let's be clear, acceptance isn't resignation. It's not about giving up or settling for less than you deserve. Far from it. Acceptance is about owning your reality so you can transform it. When you accept that you've been hurt, you take away the power of the person or situation that caused the pain. You stop letting them define your worth or dictate your future. Instead, you take back control, using the experience as fuel for growth rather than a reason to stay stuck. This shift in mindset is liberating. It frees you from the chains of bitterness and opens the door to possibility. But how do you practice acceptance when everything inside you wants to push away the pain? Start by naming it. Give your emotions a voice without judgment. If you're angry, say so. If you're sad, admit it. Naming your feelings reduces their intensity and helps you process them more effectively. Then ask yourself this powerful question: what is this pain teaching me? Pain always carries a lesson, even if it's not immediately obvious. Maybe it's showing you where your boundaries need strengthening. Maybe it's revealing outdated beliefs or patterns that no longer serve you. Whatever the lesson, lean into it. Trust that the pain is shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and more resilient. And here's something profound. Acceptance creates space for gratitude. Yes, even in the midst of pain, there are things to be grateful for. Gratitude doesn't negate your suffering. It balances it. It reminds you that life is complex, filled with both light and shadow. When you focus on what's still good, the lessons learned, the support received, the strength gained, you begin to see pain not as an enemy, but as a teacher. This perspective doesn't erase the difficulty, but it reframes it, helping you find meaning in the struggle. Meaning makes pain bearable. It transforms suffering into purpose, giving you a reason to keep going. Another crucial aspect of acceptance is forgiveness, not just of others, but of yourself. Holding on to resentment keeps you tethered to the past, preventing you from fully stepping into your future. Forgiveness doesn't mean excusing harmful behavior or forgetting what happened. It means releasing the emotional charge attached to the memory so it no longer controls you. Forgive those who hurt you not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. And forgive yourself for any perceived shortcomings or mistakes. Self-forgiveness is one of the most courageous acts of self-love you can practice. It clears the path for growth and renewal, allowing you to move forward unburdened by guilt or shame. As you embrace acceptance, remember this: you don't have to have all the answers right now. Healing is a journey, not a destination. Some days will feel lighter, others will feel heavier, and that's okay. Progress isn't linear, and setbacks don't mean failure. They're simply part of the process. What matters is that you keep showing up day after day, committed to doing the work. Each moment of acceptance brings you closer to wholeness, closer to the version of yourself that's strong enough to handle anything life throws your way. Here's the truth that changes everything. Accepting pain doesn't make you weak. It makes you unstoppable. It takes immense strength to face your struggles head on and choose growth over stagnation. Every time you accept what is, you reinforce your belief in your ability to overcome. You prove to yourself that you're capable of handling whatever comes next. This builds resilience, the kind that withstands not just today's challenges, but tomorrow's as well. Resilience isn't built in comfort zones. It's forged in the fire of adversity. And every time you choose acceptance over resistance, you fan those flames, emerging stronger than before. So, as you continue this journey, remind yourself why acceptance matters. It's not just about surviving, it's about thriving. It's about refusing to let pain shrink you, choosing instead to let it expand your capacity for strength, love, and joy. Acceptance empowers you to rewrite your story, transforming pain into power and struggle into success. It sets the stage for everything else: growth, healing, and ultimately triumph. Stay committed to this practice, knowing that each step you take brings you closer to the life you're meant to live. The life where you stand tall, unshaken by the storms around you, fully embracing your value and your worth. Keep going. Your breakthrough is waiting. Now, let's talk about the power of consistency. Consistency is the quiet force that turns small actions into monumental results. It's not flashy or loud. It doesn't demand attention with grand gestures or overnight transformations. Instead, it works steadily, patiently, carving paths where none existed before. When you're hurt, it's easy to lose sight of this truth. Pain makes you crave quick fixes, instant relief, or immediate answers. But real growth doesn't happen in leaps. It happens in steps. And those steps, taken consistently, have the power to carry you further than you ever imagined. Think about the habits that shape your life, the routines, rituals, and choices you make every day. Some of them serve you, others hold you back. The difference lies in whether you're acting out of alignment with your values or intentionally building practices that reinforce your worth. When you commit to consistent action, you create a foundation of strength that supports you during tough times. Even on days when motivation feels distant, discipline keeps you moving forward. Because here's the secret: motivation isn't something you wait for. It's something you build through action. Every time you show up, even when it's hard, you strengthen your resilience and prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you thought. But consistency isn't just about doing the work. It's about trusting the process. Too often, people abandon their efforts because they don't see immediate results. They expect change to happen quickly, and when it doesn't, they give up. This mindset sets you up for frustration and disappointment. Growth takes time, and progress often feels invisible, until one day you look back and realize how far you've come. That's why consistency requires faith. Faith in yourself, faith in your journey, and faith that every step matters, even if you can't see the finish line yet. Trust that the seeds you plant today will blossom tomorrow, as long as you keep watering them. And speaking of trusts, let's address the role of self-trust in staying consistent. When you're hurt, doubt creeps in. You question your abilities, your decisions, and sometimes even your worth. But consistency rebuilds that trust. Each time you follow through on a commitment to yourself or others, you send a powerful message: I am reliable, I am capable, I am worthy. These small acts of integrity compound over time, creating an unshakable belief in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. Self-trust is the cornerstone of high value because it ensures that no matter what happens externally, you remain anchored internally. So how do you cultivate consistency? Start by focusing on what you can control. Life will always throw curveballs, unexpected challenges, setbacks, and disappointments. You can't predict or prevent them, but you can decide how you respond. Break down your goals into manageable actions that you can take daily, regardless of circumstances. If your goal is to rebuild confidence, practice gratitude each morning. If your aim is to protect your energy, set boundaries with draining relationships. Small, deliberate actions add up to big results. Over time, these habits become second nature, freeing you from the need to constantly motivate yourself because they're simply part of who you are. Another key to consistency is celebrating progress, no matter how small. Society glorifies dramatic transformations, But true success is built on incremental wins. Did you honor your boundaries today? Celebrate it. Did you take one step toward healing, however tiny? Acknowledge it. These moments may seem insignificant in isolation, but together they form the staircase to your dreams. By recognizing and rewarding your efforts, you reinforce the behaviors that lead to lasting change. Celebration fuels momentum, keeping you inspired and energized to keep going. And here's the most powerful part: consistency teaches you that you are enough, exactly as you are, while also inspiring you to grow. It reminds you that perfection isn't required, but effort is. You don't have to be fearless to take action. You just have to take action despite fear. Every time you choose courage over comfort, you expand your capacity for greatness. Consistency proves that you don't need to wait until you feel ready to move forward. Readiness comes through movement, not the other way around. The more you act, the more confident and capable you become. Here's the truth that changes everything. Consistency is proof of love for yourself, for your dreams, and for the life you're building. When you commit to showing up every day, you declare that you're worth the effort. You affirm that your future is worth fighting for, even when the road feels long and uncertain. This commitment becomes a beacon of hope, guiding you through the darkest moments and reminding you why you started in the first place. It's not about being perfect, it's about being persistent. It's not about avoiding pain, it's about using it to propel you forward. So as you continue this journey, embrace the power of consistency. Trust that each step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to the life you desire. Stay disciplined, stay patient, and above all, stay faithful to the process. Know that the person you're becoming, the strong, resilient, high-value individual, is worth every ounce of effort. Keep moving forward one day at a time, one action at a time. Your consistency will become your legacy, a testament to your unwavering belief in your own potential. And when you look back, you'll see not just how far you've come, but how much stronger you've become along the way. Keep going. Your persistence is your superpower. Let's talk about the power of focus and what it means to direct your energy toward what truly matters. When you're hurt, distractions are everywhere. Voices in your head, external pressures, and the noise of other people's opinions all compete for your attention. But here's the truth: where you place your focus determines the quality of your life. If you allow your mind to dwell on pain, fear, or uncertainty, that's exactly what will shape your reality. On the other hand, when you consciously choose to focus on growth, solutions, and progress, you create a life defined by strength and purpose. Focus is your superpower. It's the lens through which you shape your world. Think about how much time and energy you spend worrying about things outside your control. Maybe it's replaying a conversation that didn't go as planned, obsessing over someone else's actions, or stressing about outcomes you can't predict. These thoughts may feel important in the moment, but they're actually stealing from you, stealing your peace, your clarity, and your ability to take meaningful action. The antidote is simple yet profound. Shift your focus to what you can control. You can't change the past, but you can decide how you respond to it. You can't control others, but you can set boundaries and lead by example. You can't guarantee success, but you can commit to giving your best effort every single day. This shift in focus transforms helplessness into empowerment. And here's the key: focusing on what you can control isn't just practical, it's liberating. It frees you from the exhausting cycle of trying to manage everything around you and instead anchors you in your own agency. Every choice you make to speak kindly to yourself, to honor your values, to take one small step forward is a declaration of your power. It reminds you that while you may not be able to control every circumstance, you always have the ability to choose your response. That choice is where freedom lives. It's where resilience begins, and it's what allows you to stay high value even in the face of adversity. Now let's break this down further. What does it look like to focus on what you can control? Start with your mindset. Your thoughts shape your emotions, and your emotions drive your actions. If you fill your mind with negativity, doubt, or fear, those feelings will spill into every area of your life. But if you intentionally cultivate thoughts of gratitude, possibility, and determination, you'll create a ripple effect of positivity. This doesn't mean ignoring challenges. It means reframing them as opportunities to grow. Ask yourself daily, what am I choosing to think about right now? Is it serving me or is it holding me back? Then, course correct as needed. Mindset is the foundation of focus, and focus is the engine of transformation. Next, focus on your actions. Actions are the tangible expressions of your mindset. They're where your intentions meet the real world. When you're hurt, it's tempting to withdraw, procrastinate, or act out of alignment with your values. But every action you take sends a message to yourself and to others about who you are and what you stand for. Choose actions that reinforce your worth. Speak up when necessary. Walk away from situations that drain you. Invest time in activities that bring you joy and fulfillment. Each decision builds momentum, creating a life that reflects your highest priorities. Another critical aspect of focus is eliminating distractions. Distractions aren't just external interruptions, they're internal too. Social media scrolling, negative self-talk, and pointless comparisons all pull your attention away from what truly matters. To reclaim your focus, identify the habits and patterns that sabotage your progress. Then replace them with practices that align with your goals. For example, if comparison steals your joy, limit your time on platforms that trigger it. If overthinking keeps you stuck, practice mindfulness or journaling to quiet the mental chatter. Creating space for clarity allows you to channel your energy into what moves you forward. And let's address something deeper. Focusing on what you can control also means releasing attachment to outcomes. This might sound counterintuitive. After all, isn't it important to care about results? Yes, but there's a difference between caring and clinging. Clinging to specific outcomes creates anxiety because it ties your sense of worth to factors beyond your influence. Caring about outcomes, on the other hand, means doing your part and trusting the process. It means showing up fully without needing to dictate how things unfold. This mindset shift reduces stress and increases confidence because you're no longer dependent on external validation to feel successful. Here's the beauty of focusing on what you can control. It amplifies your impact. When you stop wasting energy on what you can't change, you free up resources to invest in what you can. You become more intentional, more present, and more effective. People notice. They see the clarity and conviction in your actions, and they're drawn to it. Opportunities arise not because you forced them, but because you created the conditions for them to happen. Focusing on what you can control isn't just about personal growth. It's about expanding your sphere of influence and leaving a legacy of strength and purpose. So, as you continue this journey, remember this: focus is a choice, a powerful one. It requires discipline, awareness, and courage, but the rewards are immeasurable. By directing your energy toward what matters most, you build a life defined by meaning, resilience, and unwavering value. You prove to yourself that no matter how chaotic the world becomes, you have the power to stay grounded and move forward. Keep choosing focus, keep choosing growth, and watch as your life transforms in ways you never imagined possible. Your focus is your future, make it count. Let's dive deeper into the art of reframing rejection, one of the most misunderstood experiences in life. Rejection has a way of cutting straight to the core, making you question your worth and your place in the world. But here's the truth. Rejection isn't personal, it's directional. It's not a reflection of who you are. It's simply an indication that someone else's path doesn't align with yours. When you internalize this perspective, rejection loses its power to define you. Instead, it becomes a signal, a guidepost pointing you toward where you truly belong. Think about how often rejection feels like a verdict, as though the world is passing judgment on your value. You might replay the moment over and over, searching for what you did wrong or how you could have been better. But rejection rarely has anything to do with you. People make decisions based on their own needs, preferences, and circumstances, things you can't control and shouldn't take personally. A partner who walks away isn't rejecting you, they're choosing a different direction for themselves. An employer who doesn't hire you isn't saying you're incapable, they're looking for something specific that may not match your unique strengths. Understanding this distinction changes everything. It shifts rejection from a source of shame to a source of clarity. And here's the powerful part. Rejection often protects you. It shields you from situations that aren't meant for you, relationships that wouldn't fulfill you, or opportunities that wouldn't align with your purpose. Imagine walking through a dense forest filled with paths leading in every direction. Some trails are dead ends, others lead to places you don't want to go. Rejection acts as a filter, closing off routes that would waste your time or energy so you can focus on the ones that truly matter. This perspective doesn't erase the sting of rejection, but it transforms its meaning. Instead of seeing it as a loss, you begin to view it as redirection, an invitation to find what's truly right for you. Now, let's talk about how to reframe rejection in real time. The next time you face rejection, pause and ask yourself one simple question: what is this teaching me? Maybe it's showing you where to set stronger boundaries. Maybe it's revealing areas where you need to grow or adapt. Or maybe it's simply reminding you that alignment matters more than approval. Whatever the lesson, lean into it. Use rejection as feedback, not failure. This mindset shift empowers you to see challenges as stepping stones rather than roadblocks, guiding you closer to the life you're meant to live. Another crucial aspect of reframing rejection is recognizing that it happens to everyone, even the most successful people you admire. Behind every triumph lies a trail of setbacks, closed doors, and moments of doubt. What sets these individuals apart isn't that they avoided rejection, it's that they refused to let it stop them. They understood that rejection isn't the end of the road, it's just a detour. They kept moving forward, trusting that persistence would eventually lead them to the right opportunity, relationship, or outcome. You can adopt the same approach. Every no brings you closer to a yes, as long as you stay committed to your journey. And here's something profound: rejection builds resilience. Each time you face it and rise above it, you strengthen your ability to handle discomfort and uncertainty. Over time, you become less afraid of rejection because you realize it can't break you. In fact, it often makes you stronger. This newfound confidence allows you to take bigger risks, pursue bolder dreams, and step outside your comfort zone without fear of falling short. Because when you know you can survive rejection, you stop playing small and start aiming higher. That's the essence of staying high value. You don't shrink under pressure, you expand despite it. Let's also address the role of self-talk in reframing rejection. When you're rejected, your inner critic often jumps in, amplifying feelings of inadequacy or self-doubt. But here's the thing, you get to decide which voice wins. Instead of letting negativity dominate, counter it with compassion and logic. Remind yourself that rejection doesn't diminish your worth, it's simply part of the process. Talk to yourself as you would to a close friend going through the same experience. Offer encouragement, remind yourself of past successes, and affirm that rejection is temporary. Positive self-talk rewires your brain to see challenges as opportunities, not threats. Here's the truth that changes everything. Rejection isn't something to fear, it's something to embrace. It's proof that you're putting yourself out there, taking risks, and striving for growth. Staying safe might protect you from rejection, but it also robs you of possibility. Every great achievement, every meaningful connection, every breakthrough moment comes with the risk of hearing no. But those who succeed understand that rejection isn't the opposite of success, it's part of it. It's the price you pay for daring to create, to love, to dream. And when you frame it this way, rejection becomes not a barrier, but a badge of honor, a testament to your courage and determination. So, as you continue navigating life's inevitable rejections, remember this: you are not defined by the doors that close, but by how you respond to them. Reframe rejection as redirection, feedback as fuel, and challenges as catalysts for growth. Keep showing up, keep pushing forward, and trust that every no is leading you closer to the ultimate yes. Your resilience in the face of rejection proves your strength, your value, and your unwavering belief in your own potential. Stay focused, stay grounded, and watch as rejection transforms from a source of pain into a source of power. You've got this. Let's talk about self-worth, the unshakable foundation that keeps you grounded no matter how turbulent life becomes. Self-worth isn't something you earn or achieve, it's something you claim. It's the quiet knowing that you are enough exactly as you are, regardless of external validation or circumstances. When you cultivate a deep sense of self-worth, rejection loses its sting, pain becomes manageable, and challenges feel less daunting. Because at your core, you understand that your value isn't up for negotiation. It's inherent, immutable, and untouchable if you choose to see it that way. Think about how often you look outside yourself for proof of your worth, seeking approval from others, measuring success by external markers, or tying your identity to achievements. But here's the truth. Relying on external sources for validation is like building a house on sand. It might seem stable at first, but when the winds of change blow, the foundation crumbles. True stability comes from within, from anchoring your worth in who you are, not what you do or what others think of you. When you internalize this belief, you stop giving away your power. You stop shrinking yourself to fit into spaces that weren't designed for you and start standing tall, knowing that your light is meant to shine, not dim. So how do you cultivate unwavering self-worth? Start by challenging the stories you've been telling yourself. The ones that say you're not smart enough, talented enough, or worthy enough. These narratives aren't facts. They're beliefs shaped by past experiences, societal conditioning, or fear. And beliefs can be rewritten. Every time you catch yourself doubting your worth, pause and ask, is this true or is it just a story I've been carrying? Then replace it with a new truth, one that affirms your value. Remind yourself daily that you are inherently worthy, not because of what you accomplish, but because of who you are. This practice may feel uncomfortable at first, but over time it rewires your brain to see yourself through a lens of love and respect. Another powerful way to strengthen your self-worth is through intentional acts of self-respect. Self-respect isn't just an abstract concept, it's demonstrated through action. It's saying no when something doesn't align with your values. It's setting boundaries that protect your peace. It's prioritizing your needs without guilt or apology. Each time you act in alignment with your worth, you reinforce your belief in it. You prove to yourself that you are deserving of care, kindness, and dignity. Not someday, but right now. These small, consistent actions create a ripple effect, shaping how you show up in the world and how others treat you. And let's address something deeper. Self-worth isn't about arrogance or superiority. It's not about comparing yourself to others or striving to be better than anyone else. In fact, comparison erodes self-worth because it shifts your focus outward, pulling you away from your own journey. True self-worth is rooted in humility and authenticity. It's recognizing that you are unique, with strengths and weaknesses, triumphs and struggles, just like everyone else. But unlike others, your path is yours alone, and your worth isn't diminished by someone else's success or amplified by their failure. When you embrace this mindset, you free yourself from the exhausting cycle of comparison and step fully into your own brilliance. Here's the transformative part. Self-worth amplifies every area of your life. When you believe in your value, you make choices that reflect it. You pursue opportunities that align with your purpose. You surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire you. You speak with confidence, act with intention, and live with purpose. Others notice. They see the clarity and conviction in your presence, and they respond accordingly. Opportunities flow toward you not because you forced them, but because you created the conditions for them to happen. Self-worth isn't just a personal asset, it's a magnet for growth, connection, and fulfillment. Now, let's talk about consistency in nurturing your self-worth. Like any muscle, self-worth grows stronger with use. It requires daily attention and effort. Start each day by affirming your value, not as a performance or ritual, but as a genuine reminder of who you are. Reflect on your strengths, celebrate your progress, and acknowledge the ways you've shown up authentically. When setbacks occur, and they will, remind yourself that they don't define you. Treat them as feedback, not failure, and keep moving forward. Over time, these practices become second nature, creating an unshakable foundation that supports you through life's highs and lows. And here's the most empowering truth. Self-worth is always within reach, no matter where you are or what you've experienced. Pain, rejection, and failure don't erase your value. They test it. They challenge you to dig deeper, to reconnect with the essence of who you are beneath the layers of doubt and fear. Every time you rise above adversity, you reaffirm your worth. You prove to yourself that you are resilient, capable, and unstoppable. This realization transforms not just how you see yourself, but how you navigate the world. You walk with confidence, knowing that no external event can diminish your value because it's rooted in something far greater, your unyielding belief in yourself. So, as you continue this journey, remember this: self-worth isn't a destination, it's a practice. It's a commitment to honoring yourself even when it feels hard, It's choosing courage over comfort, authenticity over approval, and growth over stagnation. Stay vigilant in protecting your worth, knowing that it's the key to unlocking your full potential. Keep showing up for yourself, keep affirming your value, and watch as your life transforms in ways you never imagined possible. Your self-worth is your superpower. Claim it, nurture it, and let it guide you toward the extraordinary life you deserve. Let's talk about the ripple effect of high value. The undeniable truth that how you carry yourself doesn't just impact you, it influences everyone around you. When you embody self-worth, resilience, and purpose, you radiate an energy that inspires others to do the same. It's not something you force or manufacture. It's a natural byproduct of living authentically. Your confidence becomes contagious, your strength becomes a beacon, and your presence becomes a catalyst for change. This is the power of staying high value. You don't just transform your own life, you elevate the lives of those who cross your path. Think about the people who have left a lasting impression on you. What made them stand out? Chances are it wasn't their titles, achievements, or material success. It was the way they carried themselves. They exuded calm in chaos, grace under pressure, and unwavering belief in their worth. You couldn't help but feel inspired in their presence because their energy was magnetic. That's the kind of person you're becoming. Every time you choose courage over fear, authenticity over approval, and growth over stagnation, you create a ripple effect that touches everyone around you. You remind others of their own potential, encouraging them to rise to meet the standard you set. And here's the profound part. This ripple effect starts with small, intentional actions. It's not about grand gestures or dramatic displays of strength. It's about the quiet consistency of showing up as your best self. The way you speak to yourself matters because it shapes how you speak to others. The boundaries you set matter because they teach others how to treat you and themselves. The effort you put into your growth matters because it inspires others to invest in theirs. Each decision you make sends a message, a signal to the world about what you value and what you expect. Over time, these signals create waves, influencing the energy of your relationships, your community, and beyond. Now, let's break this down further. What does it mean to lead by example? It means living in alignment with your values, even when no one is watching. It means choosing integrity over convenience, kindness over indifference, and action over complacency. When you lead by example, you don't need to convince anyone of your worth. They see it in everything you do. Your words carry weight because they're backed by your actions. Your presence commands respect because it reflects self-respect. And your influence grows not because you demand it, but because you earn it through the way you live your life. Another powerful aspect of leading by example is the impact it has on future generations. Whether you're a parent, mentor, sibling, or friend, the way you navigate challenges and celebrate victories leaves an imprint on those who look up to you. Children learn resilience by watching adults handle adversity with grace. Peers learn confidence by observing someone unapologetically embrace their worth. Even strangers can be inspired by the way you carry yourself in public spaces, how you treat service workers, how you respond to conflict, how you honor your commitments. These moments may seem small, but they shape the collective consciousness, reminding others of what's possible when you choose to rise above. And let's address something deeper. Leading by example isn't just about inspiring others. It's about creating a legacy. Your legacy isn't defined by what you leave behind materially. It's defined by the energy you infuse into the world. Are you leaving people feeling empowered, valued, and seen? Or are you contributing to negativity, doubt, and fear? The choices you make today determine the impact you'll have tomorrow. By staying high value, you ensure that your legacy is one of light, a testament to the power of resilience, authenticity, and purpose. This isn't about seeking recognition. It's about knowing that your life has meaning, not just for you, but for everyone whose path you touch. Here's the transformative truth. You don't need a platform or audience to create a ripple effect. The smallest acts of intentionality can spark monumental change. A genuine compliment can brighten someone's day and motivate them to pay it forward. A boundary respectfully enforced can teach others the importance of self-respect. A moment of vulnerability can give someone permission to be human. These seemingly insignificant actions compound over time, shaping the world in ways you may never fully see. But trust this, your energy matters, your choices matter, your presence matters. You are a force for good simply by choosing to show up as your highest self. So as you continue this journey, remember this: staying high value isn't selfish, it's essential. It's not about elevating yourself at the expense of others. It's about lifting everyone around you by embodying the qualities you wish to see in the world. Keep focusing on your growth, knowing that your progress inspires others to pursue theirs. Keep honoring your worth, knowing that your self-respect teaches others to honor theirs. Keep leading by example, knowing that your actions create ripples far beyond what you can imagine. Stay committed to being the change you want to see, and watch as the world mirrors back the love, strength, and purpose you pour into it. Your ripple effect starts now, with you. Let's talk about the power of purpose, the driving force that turns pain into possibility and struggle into strength. Pain has a way of narrowing your focus, pulling you inward, and making it hard to see beyond the immediate discomfort. But here's the truth: pain can also be a catalyst for transformation. When you channel your struggles into something meaningful, you not only heal yourself, but also create value that extends far beyond your own experience. Purpose gives suffering a reason, a direction, and ultimately a legacy. It transforms what could have broken you into something that builds others. Think about the moments in life when you felt most alive, most connected, most fulfilled. Chances are, those moments weren't about personal gain or external validation. They were about contribution. They were about using your gifts, your story, and your energy to make a difference, no matter how small. Purpose taps into this innate human desire to leave the world better than you found it. It shifts the narrative from "why is this happening to me?" to "how can I use this to help others?" This perspective doesn't erase the pain, but it reframes it. It reminds you that even in your darkest hours, you have the power to create light, not just for yourself, but for those around you. So how do you find purpose in the midst of pain? Start by asking yourself one powerful question: what can I learn from this that might help someone else? Maybe your struggle with rejection can inspire others to embrace their worth. Maybe your journey through failure can teach someone the importance of resilience. Maybe your battle with self-doubt can show others that they're not alone. Whatever your experience, it holds wisdom. Wisdom that someone else desperately needs to hear. Sharing your story isn't about glorifying pain, it's about proving that growth is possible, even after the hardest moments. And in doing so, you turn your scars into symbols of hope. Another crucial aspect of finding purpose is recognizing that you don't need to wait until everything feels perfect to start creating impact. Waiting for the right time, the right resources, or the right circumstances only delays the difference you're capable of making now. Purpose isn't reserved for extraordinary people. It's accessible to anyone willing to take action, however imperfectly. Start small. Write a message of encouragement to someone who's struggling. Share a lesson you've learned on social media. Volunteer your time or skills to a cause you care about. These acts may seem insignificant in the moment, but they plant seeds that grow into something greater over time. Purpose isn't about scale, it's about sincerity. And let's address something deeper. Purpose isn't a singular destination, it's an evolving journey. The things that bring meaning to your life today may shift as you grow, and that's okay. What matters is staying open to discovering new ways to contribute. Pay attention to the moments when you feel most energized, most aligned, most alive. Those are clues pointing you toward your purpose. Trust that your unique combination of strengths, experiences, and passions equips you to fill a gap in the world that only you can fill. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to keep moving forward, trusting that clarity will come with each step you take. Here's the transformative part. Purpose amplifies your resilience. When you're driven by something bigger than yourself, challenges become less intimidating because they're no longer about you. They're about the impact you're committed to creating. Pain becomes fuel rather than a roadblock. Doubt becomes a teacher rather than a barrier. Each setback pushes you closer to the fulfillment of your mission, reminding you that every obstacle is shaping you into the person you need to be to achieve it. Purpose gives you a reason to rise above adversity, knowing that your efforts aren't just for you, they're for everyone who will benefit from the work you're doing. Now, let's talk about consistency in pursuing purpose. Purpose isn't a one-time decision, it's a daily practice. It's choosing to show up, even when motivation wanes. It's taking action, even when results aren't immediate. It's staying focused on the long-term vision, even when short-term distractions pull at your attention. Every day, ask yourself, what can I do today to move closer to my purpose? Then follow through. Over time, these consistent actions compound, creating momentum that propels you towards your goals. Purpose thrives on persistence, and persistence strengthens purpose. And here's the most empowering truth: purpose isn't limited to grand gestures or monumental achievements. Some of the most profound impacts come from quiet, consistent contributions, the kind that often go unnoticed but leave lasting impressions. A listening ear, a thoughtful word, a shared smile. All of these moments matter. They remind others of their humanity, their worth, and their potential. When you live with purpose, you infuse the ordinary with extraordinary meaning, turning everyday actions into opportunities for connection and growth. So, as you continue this journey, remember this: purpose isn't something you find, it's something you create. It's born from the intersection of your values, your experiences, and your willingness to serve. Stay attuned to the needs around you, knowing that your presence has the power to meet them. Keep leaning into your strengths, trusting that they're exactly what someone else needs. And above all, keep believing that your pain has a purpose, one that's waiting to unfold through the courage and commitment you bring to each day. Your purpose is your gift to the world. Unwrap it, nurture it, and watch as it transforms not just your life, but countless others. The ripple effect starts with you. Let's talk about the final step in staying high value: taking ownership of your journey. Ownership isn't just a mindset, it's a declaration that you are the architect of your life, the driver of your destiny, and the only person responsible for how far you go. When you take ownership, you stop waiting for circumstances to change or for others to give you permission to succeed. You realize that every decision, every action, and every moment is yours to shape. This shift in perspective is transformative because it puts the power back where it belongs, in your hands. Think about how often you've looked outside yourself for answers, for someone to guide you, validate you, or fix what feels broken. But here's the truth: no one else can live your life for you. No mentor, partner, or friend can make choices on your behalf or carry the weight of your dreams. Only you can decide what matters most, what steps to take next, and how to respond when things don't go as planned. Taking ownership means embracing this responsibility, not as a burden, but as a privilege. It's recognizing that the life you want won't come to you, it will come from you. And when you fully step into this role, you unlock a level of freedom and empowerment that changes everything. Now, let's break this down further. What does it mean to take ownership? It starts with accountability. Accountability isn't about blame, it's about acknowledging your role in every situation, whether it's good or bad. If something went wrong, ask yourself, what could I have done differently? Not to punish yourself, but to learn and grow. If something went right, celebrate your effort and preparation. Accountability keeps you grounded in reality while propelling you forward with clarity and intention. It ensures that you're not a passive participant in your life, you're actively shaping it. Another powerful aspect of ownership is consistency. Consistency isn't glamorous, but it's the foundation of lasting success. It's showing up every day, even when motivation wanes. It's doing the work, even when results aren't immediate. It's trusting the process, even when progress feels slow. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, action over procrastination, and persistence over doubt, you reinforce your commitment to your goals. Consistency proves to yourself that you're reliable, that you can count on yourself to follow through no matter what. And when you know you can trust yourself, anything becomes possible. And let's address something deeper. Taking ownership also means letting go of excuses. Excuses are comfortable. They provide a temporary escape from discomfort or fear, but they also keep you stuck, trapping you in cycles of frustration and regret. The moment you stop making excuses is the moment you reclaim your power. Instead of saying, I'll start tomorrow, say, I'll start now. Instead of blaming external factors, ask yourself, what can I control and how can I move forward? This shift doesn't happen overnight. It requires awareness and practice. But every time you choose action over excuse, you build momentum that carries you closer to the life you desire. Here's the transformative part. Ownership transforms challenges into opportunities. When you take full responsibility for your life, obstacles stop feeling like dead ends and start feeling like detours, necessary redirections guiding you toward growth. Pain becomes a teacher, failure becomes feedback, and setbacks become setups for comebacks. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstance and start seeing yourself as the creator of your reality. This perspective doesn't just change how you approach challenges, it changes how you experience them. Hard moments still hurt, but they no longer define you. They refine you. Now, let's talk about courage, the fuel that powers ownership. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the decision to act despite it. Taking ownership requires you to face uncertainty, vulnerability, and discomfort head on. It asks you to step outside your comfort zone, challenge limiting beliefs, and push beyond perceived limits. But here's the beautiful part. Courage grows with use. Every time you take a bold step, even if it feels small, you strengthen your ability to handle bigger challenges in the future. Courage becomes a habit, and habits become your identity. Over time, you evolve into someone who doesn't shy away from difficulty. You rise to meet it. And here's the most empowering truth: ownership creates legacy. The choices you make today determine the impact you leave behind tomorrow. When you take ownership of your journey, you inspire others to do the same. Your actions speak louder than words, teaching those around you the importance of accountability, resilience, and purpose. Even if you never seek recognition, your energy ripples outward, influencing lives in ways you may never fully see. By owning your path, you contribute to a culture of empowerment, a world where people take charge of their lives and create the futures they deserve. So as you continue this journey, remember this: taking ownership isn't just about achieving goals. It's about becoming the kind of person who achieves them. It's about building a foundation of self-trust, discipline, and courage that supports you through every season of life. Stay committed to your vision, knowing that every step you take brings you closer to the extraordinary life waiting for you. Keep choosing action over hesitation, growth over stagnation, and purpose over passivity. Your ownership is your superpower. Claim it, nurture it, and watch as it transforms not just your life, but the lives of everyone you touch. The future is yours to create, one choice at a time. Let's talk about the reward waiting for you at the end of this journey. The life you're building, brick by brick, choice by choice. It's not just a better version of your current reality, it's an entirely new way of being. When you commit to staying high value, you create a life defined by authenticity, resilience, and purpose. This isn't about fleeting happiness or temporary success. It's about sustainable fulfillment, the kind that comes from knowing who you are and living in alignment with that truth. Every action you take, every boundary you set, and every challenge you overcome brings you closer to this ultimate reward, a life where you thrive no matter what. Think about the freedom that comes with owning your worth, the unshakable confidence that no external event can diminish. Imagine walking into any room, facing any situation, and knowing deep down that your value isn't up for negotiation. You don't need validation from others because you've already validated yourself. You don't fear rejection because you understand it's not a reflection of your worth. You don't shrink under pressure because you know how to rise above it. This isn't arrogance, it's empowerment. It's the quiet strength that comes from staying grounded in your truth, no matter how chaotic the world becomes. And when you live this way, life itself begins to align with your energy, bringing opportunities, relationships, and experiences that match your vibration. Now let's break this down further. What does thriving truly mean? Thriving isn't about perfection or constant ease. It's about finding peace within imperfection and strength in adversity. It's about embracing the full spectrum of human experience, knowing that pain and joy coexist and that one doesn't negate the other. When you thrive, you stop running from discomfort and start using it as fuel for growth. You see challenges not as threats, but as invitations to evolve. You trust that setbacks are temporary and that every moment of struggle is shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and more capable than before. Thriving is resilience in action. It's the ability to keep moving forward, even when the path feels uncertain. Another powerful aspect of thriving is the sense of alignment it brings. When you stay high value, you stop forcing things to happen and start allowing them to unfold naturally. You focus on what you can control, your mindset, your actions, your energy, and let go of attachment to outcomes. This creates a flow where effort and opportunity meet effortlessly. Relationships deepen because you approach them from a place of self-respect rather than neediness. Goals become achievable because you pursue them with clarity and intention rather than desperation. Even moments of rest feel fulfilling because you've earned them through consistent effort and self-care.